name's Christina and I'm a travel specialist for As You Wish Vacations. While I book many vacation destinations, I specialize in the Disney products. And this video series focuses on Walt Disney World specifically. So we have gone through all the steps, if you've been following, of planning your vacation. We have everything ready to go. Now you're a few weeks out, and this is when you're starting to worry about what you may have missed, right? You're worrying about the weather, you're checking it daily. Well, Florida has extreme weather, so it's important to be prepared for everything. So what I want to talk about today is some tips and some things to pack to help you if there is some extreme weather during your stay. So let's talk about the heat first. Florida is known for its sunshine, but it is hot and it is humid, especially if you're going in the summer months. But most of the year it's hot and humid, so it's important to make sure you are prepared for that. The number one way to be prepared for the heat and humidity is to hydrate. I know it sounds silly. I know it sounds like, well, duh, I should hydrate. Well, and when you're in the parks and you're running around, you're going from place to place, it's not on the top of your mind. So it's important to really make sure you take time and are drinking a lot of water. So what we like to do is every hour to 2 hours, we will stop and my husband and I will share a bottle of water. So that way, I'm less cranky in the afternoon, and he gets headaches when he gets dehydrated. You might have some health issues when you're dehydrated. It's hot, guys. Make sure you really are drinking that water. Water in the parks is expensive. You can buy Dasani water at any kiosk, and we will occasionally do that. That is definitely something that we do. We don't like to use our snack credits if we're on the dining plan because it's like $3 for a bottle of water, and we'd rather use those snack credits for something like Dole Whip. But making sure we have some quick cash to buy those bottles of water is something we always do. What other things you can do to save money on water is all of the counter service restaurants will give you cups. They're small cups, but they will give you cups of water. So make sure every time you are there, you get a drink with your counter service meal. We'll get water and put it away for later, and we'll get a little cup and drink it while we're there. So we'll get a bottle of water. Soda does dehydrate you. Alcohol dehydrates you, so this is extra important when you're in Epcot. But you really want to make sure that you're drinking. You can also get cases of water delivered to your hotel. There are different services that offer this, and I'm going to go through those in one of the upcoming videos, but get a case of water delivered to your room. You have them when you get back to your room at night. You have them for your first thing your first water bottle in the morning. You can pack them. I don't like to carry them around, so I usually only bring them to the parks with me. You can bring water bottles into the parks with you. I know a lot of people don't necessarily think that they can because with security at airports, can they get through security at Walt Disney World? You can go through with a water bottle. So we like to definitely get those cases. We put them in the freezer the night before, so we have they stay colder a little bit longer. Those little freezers in your hotel room do not really get super cold, so they're not going to freeze through, but they do get some chunks in them, and you can keep them colder a little bit longer. Throw them in your bag, and then later in the day buy a bottle of water, so that kind of saves you a little bit of money. Another way to save money is you can pack a bunch of them, but you'd have to carry them if you have a stroller. I guess it's not, you can bring a cooler. It's not that big of a deal. You don't have to carry the cooler around with a stroller. Another option is a collapsible water bottle. So I love this one when I travel. This is a Hydro Pack. It completely collapses. There's some air in it right now, but it completely collapses, so it ends up being about this big. You can keep this on, and then you just store it in your bag. And then it expands, and you can fill it with water. So this is great when you are at the airport. You don't want to spend money on water when you get to the airport. You can fill it at one of the filling stations. You can use those little cups of water at Walt Disney World and fill it with this. You have to ask for a few of those cups of water. They also have water fountains. There's a few places you can fill your water bottle. One is in line for flights of passage. So, I didn't screw it on. It doesn't come off like that, and it doesn't leak or anything like that. So this is Hydro Pack. It's great. I love it. So that's staying hydrated during the heat. A few other things that you can do, we talked about in our planning video a few weeks ago, is getting to the park early so you don't have to wait in lines. If you get to the park early, you also avoid the worst heat of the day. So go back to your hotel, take that break. I said a few weeks ago again, I like to shower when it's that hot, getting a nice cold shower, getting some nice clean, fresh clothes on is always really, really great. So take that break, go to the pool, take a nap in the air conditioning. If you don't want to leave the park for a day, make sure you want to leave the park that day, make sure you plan a really nice lunch at that point. In the air conditioning, get off your feet, get out of the heat, get away from the crowds. That midday break is key, absolutely key, to a successful day at Walt Disney World and less meltdowns and more memories. So important for the heat, important for the crowds, important for sanity. So take a break, guys. Make sure you're taking that break. Some other things that you can do. They have those mist fans that you can buy. I don't like to carry them around. I don't think that they're super helpful. But if you are walking by, I always give myself a nice little squirt. You can also get the chili pads that you can put on the back of your neck. There's so many different options for little things like that. My personal favorite is this little cooling pack. So this cooling pack is, it's like a little wipe, and it doesn't super cool you off. It's not like cold in there, I mean, in my bag, but it's a nice little refreshing wipe, and it doesn't have all the alcohol and stuff in it that some other hand sanitizing wipes and stuff will have that will dry you out. So it just is a nice, clean, refreshing thing. So those are different ways to be refreshed. Another thing you need to think about when in the heat is chafing. You know, we don't want to think about it. If you're wearing shorts, if you're wearing a dress, if you're wearing anything that does not cover your thighs, consider wearing bike shorts underneath. Some nice moisture wicking shorts, very thin, just kind of prevents that chafing. Body Glide is fantastic. Put it in between your legs, put it under your arms, kind of, you get a little bit here, you can get a little chafing, just so uncomfortable. Underneath your feet, so the bottom of your feet. Another thing I love for feet is called pre-heel. It puts a nice little coat on your foot. It doesn't work on the bottom, so you still want to use that Body Glide or deodorant or something on the bottom to reduce that friction. But pre-heels puts a barrier on your foot and kind of prevents that friction a little bit. I carry that in the park with me. I reapply. One of the other things you can do to prevent blisters is make sure you have multiple pairs of shoes and you alternate so you don't have those same friction points every day. Make sure you're packing Band-Aids and moleskin and things like that. As soon as you feel a little friction there or a little warmness there, put a Band-Aid or moleskin or something on it so you don't get a full-blown blister. That's super important because it's really uncomfortable to walk around in blisters. Multiple pairs of shoes, pre-heels, Body Glide, Band-Aids. That's definitely the best way to take care of your feet when it's that hot out. Another thing you want to make sure you're taking care of is your skin. Make sure you are using sunblock. So apply before you go out in the morning. I always make sure I use a moisturizer with sunscreen in it and then put sunscreen on top of it. I'm a little crazy. Hats are great for the sun. Make sure that you reapply throughout the day. I hate carrying my sunscreen with me, so I use this little Sun-X. So this is great. It's a 2-part pack. So this utility towelette kind of helps you dry. It refreshes. It's great, this little towelette on the green side. And then this is lotion. This is a little lotion pack that you can then just throw in your bag, reapply. It's great. It's easy. Obviously, if you have kids, you want something a little bit more heavy duty than this, but you also would probably have a stroller, so you don't have to worry about reducing what you have in your bag. Oop, sorry, I just ripped it. But so this is really great. It comes together. Throw that in my bag. So sunscreen's really important. We talked about hydrating, we talked about all the different things. One of the things you can do if it is really, really hot, there are some certain attractions you can enjoy, I think are great for enjoying during the heat, and we'll talk about those towards the end because they're great for the rain as well. So another thing you can do is use chili pads. Chili pads are little cooling washcloths essentially that you can put on the back of your neck. You can put wet paper towels in a Ziploc bag, put them in your freezer so you can take them out throughout the day. There's a lot of different ways to make sure you're staying cool. Those little mist fans you can use. I don't like to carry them around with me. You can see I don't like to carry a whole lot with me in the park, but if I walk by, I'll mist myself really quickly. If you have a stroller, again, it's a little bit easier to have all of this stuff, so get one of those little fans. You can get small little personal fans at the dollar store. Lots of ways to beat the heat. If it's something you're concerned about and you want to discuss it with me, I will leave my email at the end of this video. All right, so that is the sun, that is the heat. Before we move to the rain, I just want to talk about the cold. It doesn't happen very often, but last week, or the week before, I don't remember at this point, but it was about 30 degrees in Florida. Definitely not something someone going to Florida was expecting. So wherever I travel, whenever I travel, if it's even during the summer, I will pack a little jacket with me, and so if it gets cold at night or whatever it might be. So this is from Uniqlo. You can see how tight and compact it is. I throw it in my bag. It doesn't take up a whole lot of room in my suitcase. It's a nice little quilted jacket, and it's surprisingly warm for how small it is. So this is great. One of my favorite travel items is this warm ultra down jacket from Uniqlo. So that will transition into rain because I also love Uniqlo for the rain. So the way rain works in Florida is typically you will look at the forecast and you will see rain all day. That's not the case. You're going to look at your phone. It's going to say it's predicting rain. It will usually rain in the afternoon. It will rain in the afternoon for about 20 or 30 minutes, and then it will be done. Move on. It will cool off. So it's not going to completely ruin your vacation. Just be prepared for it. If you are taking that midday break, it will be during the rain, and you won't have to worry about it. If you are in the parks during that time, I do have some tips for you as well. Before I do that, I do want to say rainy season is June through October. May and June, you'll get a little bit more of a full day rain. It's a full day light rain, so in that case, I like to pack a rain jacket and wear a hat. So this one's from Polka Dots and Pixie Dust. I love them. They have some really, really great Disney themed hats. So I will throw this in my bag, put it on if it starts to rain or if it's super hot. And I just love it. I love their hats. So hats are great for the rain. And then little nice light jacket. So this is Uniqlo 2. You can see that's even smaller than that one. So this goes in my my bag that goes to the park with me. And I just make sure I always have this for all day rain. I also have, this one doesn't come with a little bag like that, but sometimes I'll grab one of the bags from a different jacket. But this is Uniqlo 2, and Uniqlo has partnered with Disney, so this one has Mickey on it. So Uniqlo has some really, really great options. If you don't have a Uniqlo store near you, you can buy stuff online. You can also go to Disney Springs on your first day and get some really cute souvenirs that will also help you with your trip. Another thing that I always have in my day pack, I'm sure you have heard about the ponchos. So this is a disposable poncho. This was $1 from the dollar store. You can get them from Amazon. You can get packs of like 25 for 20 bucks. I get packs of like 100 or 500 because I give these to my clients. These are fantastic. So I usually pack about 10 of these per trip, and I make sure I have 2 or 3 of them in my bag at all times. That is because I don't like to put them back on. It's a personal thing. You might not either. I don't know. But you get hot and sweaty and it's wet, and then you have to put it back on and it's clingy. So I hate putting them back on. So I make sure I have multiple. So if it is raining, I will take this off, throw it away, and I'll get out another one. These are also great for stroller covers. They are great for sitting on if it has rained and you're going to a parade or a nighttime show or whatever it may be. Just put this down on the the seats and you have a nice dry bum. So these are great. I also pack Ziploc bags for everything. Ziploc bags to put wet things back into. If you have wet socks or whatever you have, I keep those in my bag, and I will put my electronics in them on water rides. I will put anything in them, and then you have them if it's raining, so you can take out your camera, make a little hole in it, and your camera's protected, or whatever you want to protect from the rain. So I love these. I love Ziploc bags. My husband likes the ponchos from that Disney World actually sells. So they are about $15 or $20 depending on where you are, what time of year it is, if it's raining, all those kind of things. So he has one of those. He likes to rewear it. So he'll take his wet poncho and stick it in a pocket or something like that. That doesn't appeal to me, so I just throw mine out. But that is the little dollar store poncho. Make sure you have these, whether you plan on buying the ones from the store or not. Another thing you can do is you can always go in and ask them for bags. So if you forgot your Ziploc bag, or you bought a plush Mickey and you threw out the bag, grab a little bag to protect them. They're happy to give you those plastic shopping bags. All right, we talked about multiple shoes. That's super important if it's raining, because wet shoes will even be more likely to give you blisters. If they are predicting rain all day, I will wear one of my rain shoes. So Crocs are great. I don't love the look of Crocs, so Crocs sandals are really, really good. I love these little Croc flats. So they're not super, super comfortable though, so I don't like to wear them if it's not raining, but they are pretty comfortable, so they're a great option for the parks. These are Chuka. These are also some great rain shoes. I love, love, love these. Look at how adorable they are. They're super, super, super cute. And they're a little bit more comfortable for me than the Crocs, so I'll wear these if it's gonna rain all day. I usually typically have a pair of flip-flops in my bag as well. So a pair of foldable flip-flops. I take off my shoes and put them on water rides, but it's really hard when it's raining all day to be sliding around in flip-flops all day. So a sandal like these, or Tevias or whatever, that will actually hold these are Anu, that will actually hold your feet in, I think are better than flip-flops. They're also more comfortable. They might not be as cute, but I like to wear something like these in the park when it rains, because you're not going to get wet socks or wet sneakers and be uncomfortable, but you're also not going to be sliding around. So those are some shoe options. So when it does rain, there are some great options. These I call anytime attractions. So if the crowds are long, or it's really, really hot, or it's raining, these don't usually have a wait, but they are a good 10 to 20 minutes in air conditioning, sitting down, those kind of things. So in Magic Kingdom, the Hall of Presidents, the Carousel of Progress, the Tiki Room, the Country Bear Jamboree, PhilharMagic, any of those indoor shows never get a line. The TTA People Mover, that's not a show and it's not in air conditioning, but it's a great no-line 20-minute attraction. In Animal Kingdom, Finding Nemo the musical, or Festival of the Lion King, or It's Tough to Be a Bug. You won't find me on It's Tough to Be a Bug. I don't like it. It scares me a little bit, but I'm a wuss. So those are great options when it's raining. Festival of the Lion King does get a little bit of a wait, as does Nemo, and they're outdoor waiting, so you definitely want to make sure you go a little bit closer to showtime. You may not get the best seats, but you'll get one. I've never seen a show like not have seating. So in Epcot, playing around in the pavilions, heading to the seas and learning about animals, or the Lands Pavilion, you can do Living with the Land and Soarin', everything's inside. You don't have to leave the pavilion. You can get lunch, you can do all of that. Imagination Pavilion has a lot of really cool, fun activities for kids, so go do Journey into Imagination with Figment, play at those little exhibits, and then head over and see the Pixar shorts. France has a great indoor movie that you can sit and watch. Canada and China have movies as well, but you can't sit and watch them, so they're not super great if you want to get off your feet, but if you are just trying to get away from the rain, those are good as well. The shops definitely fill up, so try to avoid the shops in the World Showcase during rain time. Kind of make sure if you're expecting a storm and you're kind of keeping up on the apps, kind of position yourself near something. Or a restaurant or a lounge with some alcohol, that's a great place too. I like the Rose and Crown or the Cava del Tequila in Mexico. The Mexico Pavilion is also another great place because you can explore and be inside. You can go on the attraction, you can go into the tequila cave, but they do, it does get a little crowded in there during the rain as well. American Adventure is about a half an hour long. You can go inside, you can wait inside, watch the Voices of Liberty, look at all the exhibits on American history, and then watch the half an hour long show. That's a great option as well. In Hollywood Studios, Voyage of the Little Mermaid, Walt Disney Presents. Walt Disney Presents is great. You can spend some time actually looking at those exhibits. You can watch the preview for what movie's coming up. You can usually meet a character, a featured character. I think right now it's Star-Lord and Groot, but it was Moana, so kind of whatever movie's out or just come out will usually be in there. So you can meet that character, you can sit and watch a video, and you can learn a little bit about Walt Disney. Muppet Vision 3D is great. So there's a lot of options. None of these usually have lines, and they're great to get out of the heat or the rain. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you're ready for your trip. If you have any questions, email me, Christina@aywvacations.com. Follow me on social media. I do Travel Tip Tuesday, so if you want more of my travel tips, make sure you're following me on Instagram @AYWChristina. I'm also on Facebook, and, Twitter, and Pinterest, so all my tips go up there as well. And that's it, guys. I hope all your vacations are exactly as you wish.